going to explain Avatar. The Way of Water, Avatar. The Way of Water, more than 10 years after the occasion of the primary film. The film starts with Jake Tarnish portraying his unassuming and tranquil life as head of the Omaticaya tribe and raising a family with his significant other Neytiri, which incorporates his children Neteyam and Loic and his girl Tuk, his embraced little girl Kiri, brought into the world from effortlessness Augustine's senseless Navi symbol, and a human kid named Bug, the child of Miles Quaritch, who was brought into the world on Pandora, however, couldn't be shipped to Earth in cryostasis. While Jake can acknowledge Insect as an embraced child, Neytiri is wary of him given his human starting points. In any case, every one of the youngsters blends and mingle well with one another, including Bug, whom Kiri is warm despite the fact that he is a human. The Bug doesn't embrace his human legacy and feels more leaned to Navi culture and customs. They carry on with an ordinary existence until one day they notice a peculiar star in the night sky. Once more sadly, they understand it's an RDA space transport with people getting back to Pandora to colonize it, raising another super working base. Among the fresh debuts in the boat is Colonel Quaritch, who has been cloned into a Navi body and with his recollections transferred from before his demise. Thus, Quaritch can't recall his death because of Jake, however, is simply ready to remember the occasions previously and his vindictive mission to wipe out Jake. To keep the RDA from taking advantage of Pandora once more, Jake drives an essential guerrilla activity against the RDA supply lines, debilitating them. In one of the tasks, Loic, who defies Neteyam and anxious to show what him can do, attempts to help Jake in fight yet gets injured. Jake safeguards and trains him to not jeopardize his own security by being crazy. That evening, while at the same time keeping an eye on his injuries, Nethri tranquilly reminds Jake to be not excessively severe with Loic, to which Jake communicates his anxiety as a dad for the security of his kids. In the meantime, the reprisal follow-up on the RDA supply lines doesn't agree with Quaritch, who starts a pursuit mission to kill Jake. During a perky endeavor, Jake's kids alongside Insect investigate further into the rainforest. Unbeknownst to them, Quaritch and his group are at a similar area investigating the site where Quaritch will see his human remaining parts. A perceptive Loic sees their presence and rapidly illuminates his dad Jake, who is made aware of the circumstance. Be that as it may, an encounter happens and Quaritch's crew catches Jake's kids. Jake and Neytiri show up in time and free the greater part of them, yet Bug is taken by Quaritch, who remembers him as his child. On board the boat, the RDA attempts to coercively separate data about Jake from Bug, who won't give. Evolving system. Quaritch tends to Bug as his child and furthermore to make sense of more about the Navi in return for his opportunity on his side. Despite the fact that unagreeable and ignorant about Quaritch's real mission, Insect shows Quaritch Navi culture. Quaritch is likewise effectively ready to tame an Ikran flying animal as his vehicle. Realizing the risk Bug's information on his whereabouts postures to their security and furthermore to stay away from another calamity, Jake persuades a hesitant Nethri and his family to expel themselves from the Omaticaya tribe and retreat toward the eastern seaboard of Metkaina, a coral reef island whose group and way of life is adjusted to Pandora's seagoing environment. Jake gives his main mantle to his replacement and passes on altogether to Makaina. Once showed up, they are welcomed by the faction boss Tonawari and his significant other Ronal, who is dubious of them at first. Nonetheless, Jake makes sense of their circumstance and they are consented to remain and given cover. Despite the fact that a few tribesmen mock Jake and his youngsters for their hereditary human legacy, the family learns the methods of the reef individuals, gaining the appreciation of them. Kiri is captivated with the oceanic existence of Metkaina and fosters an otherworldly bond with the ocean and its animals, while Loic gets to know Soraya, the little girl of faction boss Tonawari and his better half Ronal. Purpose to focus on positive things more than negative ones, it is human instinct to safeguard ourselves. Along these lines, we instinctually center around the negative that could happen more than the positive which is occurring. This is a survival reaction. At the point when this is left uncontrolled, we find our psyches loaded up with negative ideas more often than not. This prompts uneasiness, outrage, distress, despondence, disregard, sadness, and sadness. Indeed, when you continually ponder negative things, you start to draw in them. Subsequently, Eckhart urges us to change this insight. Figure positive to encounter positive. In addition, positive reasoning keeps you solid by forestalling pressure. Don't complain. Adapt, give your all to abstain from grumbling. This is proof that you are not tolerating what is happening to improve it. Grumbling is negative in nature. It makes you transform into a casualty and furthermore makes you seem to be a pessimistic individual. In the event that the ongoing circumstance doesn't exactly measure up for you, there are just two decisions. You can either shout out and guide out the issue for it toward be fixed or leave what is going on for all time. All the other things is trivial. The decision is yours. Let go of your past so that it doesn't ruin your present or your future. Nearly everybody has done a couple of things in the past that they are not pleased with. There could be a few conflicts with companions or family. Clutching these negative encounters typically causes more damage than great to us. It undermines our hearts and we can undoubtedly lose all sense of direction in the cynicism of the past. Assuming that this occurs, we imperil our future. Rather than going down this street, we should essentially respect our pasts. As per Eckhart, this is the most vital move towards pardoning ourselves. After we have done this, we are allowed to certainly embrace and experience what's in store. Jake, Korich, Neytiri and Tuk end up caught inside the sinking vessel. Jake chokes Korich into obviousness and is safeguarded by Loic and Payakan, and Kiri gathers ocean animals to help her save Neytiri and Tuk. Insect finds and protects Korich, however, passes on him because of his savagery towards the Na'vi and putting his objective to kill Jake's family over being his dad and turning into a decent man, driving him back to rejoin Jake's loved ones. After Netayam's memorial service, Jake and his family choose to for all time stay with the Metkaina.